to Twisted Tales.
Twisted Tales, Twisted Tales, hell, blood and bones and unknown trails. Twisted Tales, hell, true got teeth that drags their nails. Urban riding, back road sins, dead men talking through the wind. Cursed objects, killer law. Once you hear it, you want more. No fairy dust, no happy end, just how the nightmare really went. Turn it up, don't ask why.
Good evening, everybody. It's Jeremy, and welcome to another wonderful edition of Twisted Tales. This evening, I bring to you a woman who has over 25 years invested in the paranormal. She has done multiple hosting at different locations all throughout Massachusetts and beyond. The wonderful Miss Christy Parrish. Come on the show.
Hi.
Hi, Christy. Good evening. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Jeremy?
Not too bad. First of all, I want to thank you very much for coming out on the show. You know, I know you're a very busy woman. You got a lot of things going on in your life, and I appreciate you coming on the show tonight to talk to us. So.
Well, I appreciate you asking me to come in here and talk about some things that's going on, you know?
Oh, yeah. And trust me, I'm sure there's a lot going on. So for those of everybody that don't know who you are, could you give me some background on how you got involved in the paranormal, like how you got started?
Well, yeah. I mean, it goes back to when I was a child.
Of course.
Like many people, I have a part of me that is a little bit open to the world differently than others.
Yeah.
And that led me down a path that actually opened my mind up to doing paranormal investigations. And that was 25 years ago in my home. I had bought a property. I was married at the time. And as soon as we moved in, there were things that started happening to my husband and stepdaughter. We had called multiple paranormal teams to come in and try to figure out what was going on so we could deal with it, because we were getting hurt, physically hurt.
Oh, my God.
And it was a whole lot of energy in that house. And above all, I wanted my family to be safe. And I was going to do whatever I had to do to make sure that happened. The unfortunate situation, though, was when the teams would come, they would never get back to us. They would never return our calls. They would never share what they caught. And we know they caught stuff because we heard them.
Yeah.
Multiple psychic mediums had come through. And there was this one that walked in one day. She walked into the kitchen and she looked over at me. She says, "How do you even live here?" I said, "Well, I love this house. And no matter what's going on here, I'm not going to give up on this house. It's our home.
Right.
So we're going to have to figure out and come to an understanding here, whatever I have to do." My whole life, as far as my abilities, I've never felt like I really had anybody that would believe me and support me with them. My family, even to this day, says, "You don't have this. This is not happening." They refuse to believe it. But that's okay. They don't have to. And I'm not going to love them any less. But it's been a journey with it. Eventually, I gave up on the teams as far as the house goes. And I was like, I'm a smart girl. I went to school, studied engineering and things like that.
Yeah.
I can do this like everything else. I can figure this out.
Yeah.
So I dig into books, the library, everything I can dig up to try to study this and understand what's going on. How long? Who's experienced this? What can I do? That's how I got started in my house, understanding the paranormal.
Wow.
And then as I was doing that, people started coming to me because they started hearing about the stories, their friends and things like that would come over and experience the house. It was like, come to my house. And I started going to other people's house that had the activity. And I did this for years before moving to Massachusetts.
That's amazing. So this all happened before you even moved up to this area?
Oh yeah, it's my whole life. This stuff has been going on. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So when you were first having like the interactions with the spirits in your own house and trying to get them to leave your family alone and obviously coexist, is that when you started realizing that you had abilities to be able to connect with them on a level, or?
After the lady said that to me and she looked at me and the way she said it, it dawned on me, all these years I've been told that something's wrong with me, but it's not what I can't do these things all these years. Maybe it's time that I might actually think about this is possible.
Right.
And I think the house knew the day that we walked through to look at it before we bought it. I felt it. When we walked into it, I felt I had to be there. It was important. And the moment that the house decided it was time for me to wake up, I was in the bathtub and I got smacked across the face and it bruised me on my cheek all the way down. And I was like, this is my wake up call.
Oh, wow.
Violent. I'm telling you, it dragged me out of the bed, knocked me off ladders when I was painting walls, knocked me downstairs.
Wow.
It was a lot of different things that was going on. It's just a terrifying situation, even for paranormal investigators that came there because they didn't understand it. The lights were turning on and off. Things were flying across. The remote controls spent around on the table in front of everybody. And they was like, how is this even happening? I said, I'm telling you some things here. Figure it out. Come on, help me figure it out.
Well, it sounds like obviously they had no idea what was going on. You had more of a handle on it than they could possibly have, and you were just experiencing it in real time.
Exactly, and it wasn't going to get the upper hand with me, no matter how intimidating it did get. But I will tell you, there were times, especially when I got divorced, and I was there all by myself. It's just me and my dogs. That it got so intense on me some nights that I had to just pack my 2 Shih Tzus up in the car and drive to my mom and dad's house and sleep out in the driveway there because I couldn't stay in that house.
Oh, wow.
It was that strong.
That's amazing. I mean, I've seen things move around before, but I've never been like slapped across the face like that before. I mean,
You never forget that moment.
And I'm sure you never will. I mean, that's like that's a make it or break it moment in the paranormal. Do you dive further in and try to learn what's going on, or do you just say, I'm getting the hell out of here and I'm never coming back to any of this ever again? I mean,
and that's kind of the, we're doing a couple of cases right now for families. My team members down south are working on a case in Etheridge, and the homeowner's like, I can't live like this. And I'm like, it's not bad where you're at. Trust me, I know it's scary, but there are far worse things that could be going on than this. It's just energies in your house trying to tell you their story because it got lost. And it's necessary to complete their cycle that they need to complete.
I agree with you. I think that, I mean, we've encountered spirits like when I first met you at the Oliver House years ago. There are lots of spirits that just want to tell their stories no matter what. And if you're able to actually communicate with them and be able to have them tell it, things will kind of settle down a little bit. I at least I've seen it happen. I mean, sometimes you're gonna get naughty spirits that just want to, have a little fun at our expense occasionally. But
yeah, you will get those. I think one of the most unnerving things, even to this day for me, is when I actually see them.
Okay.
When you see them in a solid form.
Right.
Or if they're not quite solid and maybe they're just in that faded in between and you see the wall behind them. That to me is the hardest thing for me to visually see, even to this day. And it stays with you. That moment might be a second and you might catch that glimpse, but you never forget that face. You never do.
No, I agree. Whether it's if I see somebody's like, spirit guides, or at the hospital I work at, I see several full body apparitions walking around in there, because the amount of people who passed during COVID alone, and it supercharged that entire building, to be honest with you. And that's kind of it's a scary thought in and amongst itself.
Yeah.
But getting back to it, so when did you actually move up to Massachusetts from when you were down?
I moved up to Massachusetts in 2005 or 4, something like that.
Okay. Did you get involved in the paranormal right away up here from down there?
Nobody would have me.
Really?
No, I reached out to teams and I was like, I really want to keep going with this. And then nobody would answer me back. And I started to see events from a man called Tim Weisberg.
Okay.
Spooky South Coast events. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to one of these. I'm going to meet some people doing events like this and kind of hang out with people. Maybe there'll be somebody there that might allow me to be a part of their team.
Right.
But I didn't find anybody. Everybody was already paired up, and it was difficult for people to get to know me, really get to know me, because everybody was closed off in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest place to move to and instantly have people start to warm up to you. That takes a little time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But once they do, they're very close to you and would do just about anything for you. It's just hard to get over that little hump. And that's what I had to go through in the beginning. Tim, when I approached him, I told him, I said, I'm having trouble because I want to be a part of a team, but nobody will get back to me. He said, well, Christy, why don't you just start your own? I said, but I don't really know anybody other than a few people that I've met at your events.
Right.
And he said, well, maybe some of them might be good members. So I bet it probably wasn't but 3 weeks to a month later, then I founded Spectral Forces Paranormal Research with a couple of people, well, 3 of us all together. And then another person joined, and it was good. It was good. Then we started traveling around and just doing this and experiencing different locations, and I was getting knowledge. I was gathering knowledge everywhere I went about hauntings and how they're different from each other.
Right.
Learning every step of the way, because that's what investigations are about.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's increasing your wheelhouse upstairs to be able to deal with special circumstances. So when they come along with homeowners and things like that, you get it in these locations, but then you use it to help families.
Absolutely. I know there's a big difference between investigating locations versus private residents and helping families take care of their own. You coming from a firsthand experience of a family going through, I'm sure could lend a particular, set of, I don't know, just basically, knowledge versus other people who are just going in with no experience in their own home, where you actually had that experience. So you could tell these people, hey, listen, this is what I went through, and I can help you. I can help guide you a little bit better than some other people who are going in and have never had anything happen in their own residence. I mean, so you definitely had that knowledge firsthand over a lot of people.
Yeah, and I really got into the habit, and I still do it to this day, of trying to think outside the box with it. Without the gadgets necessarily, maybe just simple everyday objects. How can I combine these things and make it enticing for them to want to interact with it?
Right.
And so I love to try new things and see how the energies react with it ultimately, I feel like by doing this, there's going to come a method out of it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be something that no matter where you go in the world, this is going to work.
That's
It's going to
cool.
be that little magic basket of tricks that's going to work anywhere you go. Make it so much easier to bridge the gap between the other side and us.
I agree. And, like I said, everybody, we've only just tipped our feet into the iceberg of the paranormal. It's so vast, and everybody who thinks that they're an expert, we're barely even hitting the surface of what we really know about even dealing with the other side and how spirits come forward to us and everything else. Christy, have you looked into it? Must be Reiki, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's Reiki. Yeah. I actually have had Reiki on me. Done. I actually had a attachment when I was 4 years old. An old man had attached to my core, and he'd been following me and guiding me my whole life, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
And I think when they did this Reiki on me to try to remove and worked on me, 2 psychic mediums worked on me at one time, and I think they got like 7 energies out of my body.
Oh, wow.
And it changed afterwards the way that I looked at the world. I felt like a different person.
You were carrying 7 energies on you? Wow.
Yeah, I would eat foods that I didn't ever want before. I cleaned my house. I was this different person.
Yeah.
Because all of that was attached to me wasn't holding me back on everything anymore.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a process. It took about, I'd say, 2.5 to 3 hours. And it was brutal going through that, but I gotta give them a shout out. They were absolutely professional with me, and I said, I feel like $100 here right now. I feel fantastic. This is great.
I've dealt with attachments and things. Yep. I saw I mean, I've only had like 1 or 2 attachments on me that were a little bit on the rough side, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving forward, the Oliver House is where I've originally met you. Was at the Oliver House. How did you originally get involved with the Oliver House?
So I went to a Paracon in Salem, and I walked around.
There it is.
And the Paracon, and then I went to get some lunch. And as I was sitting at the bar having my chicken strips and eating lunch, this lady walked over and sat down next to me and started talking to me. She said, "Do you believe in all this ghost stuff?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I absolutely do." And she's like, there's a house in Middleborough that we're going to start doing ghost tours in. Would you be interested in coming to help out? And I was like, absolutely. I thought this would be a fun thing. This is something different, something new for me. So that's how I got involved. I got a phone call one afternoon to come out there and pull weeds. And then they unlocked the house, and it didn't have any furniture. It was just stale, the smell of it. But I felt the energy of the house the minute the door opened, and I was like, I actually felt the energy of the house on the grounds when I arrived and stepped foot on the grounds and looked at it. I got like the heebie-jeebies all over. And I felt internally like I was home. Like all this has led me to this moment, all the way from Tennessee to right here. And I instinctively knew things about the house when I walked in, even though I shouldn't know.
Yeah.
I started seeing it a different way, feeling it with different people in it, understanding what the rooms were. And that's when I slowly but surely just started bringing that up, getting confirmation from the energies within, and started taking people through on tours, telling them the real history as it's shown to me.
It's an amazing place. I mean, it really, really was. I mean, every time that I had been there, had some really amazing experiences at that place, both inside and out in the backyard, which is a completely different feel. It's a completely different world back there. To be honest with you,
It really is, and it's a world that goes back to the indigenous people of Massachusetts. I mean, it's just they had a lot of rituals and things like that, and things that they would do there on the property. So it really brings the land alive.
Oh yeah,
And it can be terrifying. I used to go outside all the time. I think the last time that I walked out at night, I started to walk around the side of the house, and then I heard something that sounded like a pack of wolves ripping something to shreds, but it wasn't quite a wolf. It was a weird sound. And I stopped in my tracks and I said, you know what? I don't even think that's an animal. I think that's something else.
oh boy.
That's my feeling. And I said, I've got to trust this. And I told everybody, come back into the house like right now.
Oh wow.
And so we all went back in. I was like, it's not safe outside. And then when they left, I said, make sure you stay together. Get in your cars, lock them.
Yeah.
You know, I just want you to be safe with flashlights on them and everything else. But instinctively, I knew if we started to go after it, somebody could end up hurt or dead.
Whew. Yeah, that's a little heavy. I mean, I know, like the one time I went out in the back, and while I was out there, it literally got brighter and brighter out there as I was like walking around. And I'm like, the lights haven't changed, but the backyard is getting lighter. And then like the shadow was like staring at me and walking across the top of the hedges. And I remember that was crazy.
It's almost like you step into time, like you go through another point in time.
Right.
Sometimes like it looks similar, but it looks different.
And the further you walk into the yard down towards the back fence,
the
more things just change. I mean, reality does warp a little bit back there when you're back there. Even during the daytime, when we walk around during the daytime, it feels weird. But at night, it takes on a completely different just persona of its own. And it's
never go out there by yourself.
Nope. Nope.
Never do it.
I'm a big guy, and I won't go back. I would never go out there on my own ever again. No, I did it once, and that was enough, you know.
But the house, the Oliver estate, I was there for 10 years.
Yes.
Doing things, and I've made the decision to end my relationship with the house. My last event is the pro night.
Okay.
I feel like I've done a really good job to try to help the property for all these years, but now it's time to refocus and venture forward and do some other things. And I think the house will be fun.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I gotta say, you did amazing work there. I know from myself and many other people that I've talked to over the years that they always loved all the work that you did at that property. So you definitely should hold your head up high and hang a banner for all the hard work that you did there. Trust me, everybody appreciates everything that you did there for sure.
I loved working with like new volunteers and like training them and kind of letting them find their way through the house, allowing them to be their own personality as they take people through, and makes me really proud.
Absolutely.
Everything that I've accomplished there. You know, Emory's the same way.
Yeah, that was going to be the next one I was going to bring up is the amazing Emory estate. If Sean wants to show that picture, that is an amazing place. The first time I went down there, Sam was doing an event down there, and I know we got down there a little early, and you took my wife Jean and I on a walk through there during the daytime.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the stuff that I was picking up on during the daytime in that place alone is unbelievable. The energy in that place is.
It hums, doesn't it? It's like buzzing from the house when you pull up.
There are several different levels of paranormal. I'm gonna say paranormal activity or spiritual activity going on in that house in different areas and different quadrants.
Mhm.
It's amazing. It's literally different experiences. Almost every room you go into has a different story to tell. It's really amazing. So when did you first get involved with the Emery?
So I got a phone call from a friend of mine that started working in the town of Weymouth.
Mhm.
And she said they have a property here and they're looking to do something with it. They're not doing anything with the house. Do you think you could do your events there? So I was just honest with this person. And I said, I won't do the events until I go through and take a walk. I've got to make sure that there's someone that people can interact with there before we start bringing people there.
Right.
And, I'm not saying that I have all the answers, and I'm the be all end all of it. I'm not trying to say that, but if I'm going to invest my energy and my effort,
Mm-hmm.
I need to know that they're there so that I can feel comfortable moving forward with everything.
Right.
And charging for tickets and giving the money to them and this, that, and the other. So I met the folks at the mayor's office there in the town.
Right.
And they drove me over. It was the daytime and it was a little rainy outside that day. And there was, I think, 4 or 5 people with me. And I told them, I said, just don't say anything to me as I go through here. Just listen and let me kind of flow through the house the way it wants me to.
Right.
And listen to what I have to say. Then at the end, you can tell me what you think. And so I started taking them. I took them to Billy Graham's room. And I actually said it. And I didn't know why. But it came out because that's what I was shown. And it was crazy. And to see their expressions, as I'm picking up on this stuff, the reason that they wanted me there to begin with is because the facility maintenance team that would go into the house were experiencing these things during the day. And when it was unnerving to them.
Right.
They didn't understand it. But, after I got started on the project, I was like, you guys do what you got to do to help, keep the house strong because nothing in this house is going to hurt you.
No.
It's just sounds. It's just, they're confused by you too. So don't be afraid of whatever you hear. But it can be pretty strong sometimes because we do have a grumpy man.
Mrs. Emery was mean to me. She told me to get cleaning.
Yeah, I believe that. There's a man upstairs in one of the rooms that is pretty aggressive. He likes to use fear and intimidation.
Yes.
With people, and we got some interesting video footage. We haven't put it out yet. That happened the other day, but it will blow your mind what he does.
Oh, yeah.
And we got it on 3 cameras.
Wow.
So it's like right around the time when the asteroid hit, it was like 2.5 hours or so before all of that. He went crazy inside that house, which made me think, this is where my brain went. Okay, I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
I think the spiritual realm knew that event was going to happen.
Okay.
And inside that house, he was looking to get out so he could see it hit.
Oh, wow.
It was like a sense of urgency and the scrambling around in the house. And so I'm like, I think they knew that event was going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's my feeling. That's my instincts.
That place is amazing. I've been there 2 times, and it was a couple of years apart. The first time was for Sam's event, and then just recently with Willie Hassel and his team, I came in because they had an open spot, and I was like, you know what? I don't have anything going on a Saturday night. I'm going to shoot down there, and it's been a while. I thought it was funny when you sent me a message going, did I see you in the Emery house? Because I know you have the cameras going on, And
I'm seeing people in the comments that I know, and I'm like, oh, look there.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I had 2 very different experiences both times that I went to the Emory. The first time and the second time were vastly different.
Right.
The interactions were amazing in that place,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
On both times, because I know things have been moved around since the first time I've been there, and I know sometimes when you move things around, energies do get shifted depending, if they're attached to certain objects and whatnot and so forth. So, hey, so
Yeah.
what about the cleaning story? Nathan's asking, what about the cleaning story? I guess
I know what I think. Are you talking about the bathtub?
I think so.
I think he's talking about the bathtub. So here's a story about Emory that we will share on the tours and stuff. When we first started going there, the house was a wreck. It had been inhabited by a bunch of raccoons for the better part of a few years. So it was a mess. And I decided to start cleaning one bathroom on the second floor outside of Billy Graham's room. And Rick, the other volunteer, had gone upstairs. He was going to work on cleaning the third floor. Just the two of us in the house, me and Rick. And I had sudsed up the tub and I was scrubbing away. And I had chemicals and everything all over me. And I heard these footsteps on the floor behind me coming out of Billy Graham's room. But I knew Rick was on the third floor. So I was like, all right, it's getting real right now.
Yeah.
I didn't see or anybody, but I was like, I'd always been told that if you're gifted and spirits try to jump you, you're supposed to, or even if you're not gifted, you're supposed to cough or sneeze so they can't get in.
Oh.
I could do neither that. I couldn't do either one because I had chemicals and everything all in front of me.
Right.
So I did the next best thing I could do, and I farted on it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that. That's definitely
But it worked because it's almost like I crop dusted it and it started to back away and it went away. So later during our investigation, when we were introducing ourselves,
yeah.
I told them my name was Christy, and then the obelisk said, "Smelly Southerner."
Oh my God! Oh. Wow.
And it says that to this day. It'll come out with it randomly, "That smelly Southerner." And I'm like, that's right, I did that. You got to do what you got to do.
You protected yourself,
That's right. It didn't jump me. That's for sure. No. So, here's the lessons that we learned. If you can't cough and sneeze, fart. Do it. It works.
Whatever you have to do, to get the job done. Jason, everybody's laughing at the moment because of that story. No, that's amazing. So
you just can't make that up. It's true. So there it is.
So with the Oliver House and the Emory Estate, now is that all part of the Saving Locations?
Yeah, it's kind of a group of volunteers, the Saving Location volunteers, which are a fantastic group of investigators. We've got people who's got a lot of experience that come on board, and then we got some people who are new to it that we kind of grandfather in, and just kind of everybody gets along well with each other. We're all learning from each other. I just love what we're able to do for these locations. And we're doing it in multiple places. It's not just Oliver and Emory. We're taking it to other places.
Okay.
There's a place called the Old Weymouth Police Station.
Oh, yes, I think we have a picture of that as well. There it is.
That building right there. I absolutely love this place. I started teaching paranormal studies to teenagers in that building.
Wow.
In a class teaching younger people how to investigate with integrity and to do it safely. I gave them something that I never had. And I'm telling you what, taking the time with those people, those students, taught me that there's a lot to be learned with working with younger people.
Right.
They've got some really fantastic ideas. And they're making some mistakes along the way. You know, you have to tell them, you know, put the boards away. Don't play with them yet. You're not good. You're not going to be able to do that for years. So don't risk it now.
Yep.
There'll be a time and place when you can.
Right.
But let me show you how to kind of get yourself ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you how to protect yourself while you do it, which is key for you being young. And then I start teaching them how to build case files.
Okay.
There's nothing quite like walking into the classroom and seeing all the kids, and they're like from the ages of 10 to 15 and all 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
They get out their cell phones and they compare their screens and their names on the screens that they match up with the name, the date, the history, where they're from, this, that, and the other, why they're here.
Right.
And they talk about it with each other. And then they go and they investigate and they ask questions to those people that they've documented on their phones.
Oh, wow.
It's just amazing to see. Very bright kids. And I think it gives them an avenue where everybody else wouldn't listen to them or laugh at them. They can be themselves there.
It sounds like you have a real passion for teaching the kids how to get involved properly and how to do things the right way. Let's face it, there's a lot of adults that could definitely use your teachings as well as.
I like to kind of mentor people like that, you know, and show them. That's what I do with volunteers.
Right.
You know, I will teach them the history, share the experiences, teach them how to be vocal with people, how to communicate that. Mm-hmm. And I think it brings a lot of fulfillment to my life by being able to do that, knowing that it's done right and allowing people to fall in love with these places.
Yeah, it's amazing. I can definitely tell by the look in your face that you love teaching the younger generation about all of these things. You know, it's sometimes you find a passion project and it really drives you forward.
Yeah, I had them give themselves a name, the students, and so they kicked around a bunch of names, and then they finally came up with the one that they wanted to be known as. And they said, we're going to be called the Teenage Paranormal Supernatural Explorers.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, the number one most important thing is teaching respect for the locations and the spirits in it. And, you know, like I said, I truly feel that a lot of adults could use the teachings that you teach these kids, because let's face it, we've seen many times in many places that adults, they walk in, you know, and they don't check their egos at the door, and next thing you know, they're running out the other side of the door and they're not coming back in.
Yeah, it's I've got like some things that just crawls all over me when I hear people do it. When they go into investigations, and I was like, so can you tell me how you died?
Oh, I hate those comments.
You know, do you know that you're dead?
Ugh.
You know,
question that I hate.
you start doing all these things, what you kind of do is you kind of put the top on the conversation that needs to be had.
Right.
Because you've automatically made them nervous.
Yes.
Nobody wants to answer those kind of questions. They know something's going on. They might not understand exactly. Yeah. But why not let's lead off with something different? Maybe talk about pizza. I know it sounds very silly, but just have a conversation amongst each other. And we found this out to be true more often than not.
Right.
Not asking them questions at all, not investigating them, but just being in their environment and letting them interact with us. Let's take the pressure off, you know?
No, I agree with you. And like you said, you mentioned two of the questions that I hate more than anything else on any investigation I've ever gone. Do you know you're dead? Do you know how you died? Those are insulting questions, because you know as well as I do, a lot of these spirits, they don't even know that they've actually passed. It could have been sudden, or it could have been anything. And I refuse to ask any of those questions. I mean, early on, obviously, when you're first learning, those are questions that they tell you to ask. But then after a while, you're like, no, what? You're not going to get anywhere with these questions, because I'm sure they've heard this crap 100 times. They would rather just have you ask them, "How are you today?" Just simple stuff, just general conversation, and then you know as well as I do, you can get a lot better conversations with spirits when you treat them as the people who they are. You know,
Exactly.
they're as much people as you and I are sitting right here. So it's
yeah, it's, and you know, but with that, after you've earned their trust, the spirits' trust, energies trust, and respect, that's when they break your hearts. That's when the walls come down.
Yeah.
And they start sharing with you the very things that nobody else is going to know.
Right.
Because now you've got that open line of communication.
Yeah.
And, you know, you see where they miss their family members, they miss their children, and they tell you what it was like in their last moments. And they will tell you who did that to them.
It's true.
And you carry that with you every day thereafter.
It definitely is a heart. It pulls on the heartstrings. There's no doubt in my mind about that. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I can feel it just thinking about it. You know, one time at the Oliver House, I was playing with the kids. I don't giggle, but wow, I giggled so much reading the story. Okay.
Yeah, the books were there at the Oliver House with the kids' room and stuff, so people would put the books out, and people used to have so much fun reading the books, and they would giggle. The kids will giggle.
Yeah.
Sometimes while they were reading stories, which is fun. I actually put a monkey. I found a monkey in a store, Miss Swift's store, and it was like a 1950s monkey that has the little symbols and stuff. It was
okay. Yeah.
It's ugly, you know, and I don't care. When I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna get that monkey. I'm gonna buy that monkey, and I'm gonna take that monkey to Oliver House and give that to the kids, because they haven't had anybody in there to bring them any new toys for a while. So I'm gonna see if they use it, if they'll let it react. But it worked. I put the monkey on the table, sat it there. Everybody walked out of the room, and then the monkey starts going ting, 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 ting.
That's cool.
And I was like, yeah, that's right. That little monkey brought him a little bit of happiness. Like ordinary, everyday things.
Yeah.
Sometimes is all it really takes.
I think, didn't you have blocks on the floor in that room too? Is that what the blocks were on the floor? I remember one time being there and there was nobody in that room, and they knocked the blocks over, and it's like, oh my God, okay, there's nobody in that room. There hasn't been anybody in there in a while. And
they do that, and I don't know. I like to take helium balloons, and tie them onto strings and put them in different locations. I did this down south too. I just let the balloon sit, so that when the energies go in, they're fascinated by it. They're going to walk over towards it or get near it, and the change in temperature is going to drop that balloon while they're there. Or they're going to knock it around. But you put it in a controlled environment, put a camera on it and a light, and you sit back and you just let them discover it. Something like that in a house like Octagon Hall down south is fascinating for the energies within that building. So they're going to play with it all night long, off and on.
That's cool.
You just gotta, if you want to document it, just sit there and sit out of the room and watch the balloons bounce around and do their things.
Because they're not doing it on their own, so the spirits are definitely playing with the balloons.
Exactly.
That is amazing, So I remember the day the bed went there and the night was very active. What? Oh. I love balloon experiments. Somebody brought up balloon experiments. I'd never known about that before. Actually, something I'd actually like to see firsthand. I've never thought about it, a balloon experiment.
All it's going to cost you is a balloon, some helium, and some string.
In a little bit of time, and you just that's pretty cool.
And the same thing with bells. You get one of these little bells like you put on an animal's collar, a little lightweight bell. Take some dental floss, put it on the bell, put it on a doorknob.
Okay.
I've done that at Emory, and I've got it on camera where they move that bell when nobody's in the house.
Yeah, I mean, I also find it interesting with cat toys, the little light up cat toys. You put those in the ring.
Little light up balls, right? Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, I've only seen them used a couple of times in certain places, and they've actually moved them, or they've made them light up, and nobody's touched them. So.
And then people are getting really creative with them now, and they're building these little holders and yes, no, maybe, all that kind of stuff.
That's too fancy. I like the idea of just putting it out there loose and just letting whatever happens happen.
I remember the first time when I saw those in a store, in a pet store. I had 2 Shih Tzus, and I was in the pet store, and I saw them. I was like, "Huh, I bet this would work." And I took it to Wareham, to the schoolhouse, and put it on the floor in their little schoolhouse. And the next thing you know, bing, 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 these things just start lighting up. And I was like, this is the craziest thing. It's just a cat toy.
Sometimes it's just the flashy lights. I mean, I'm not really big into the electronic equipment, Christy. I'm definitely more of an old school kind of guy, like pendulums and dowsing rods and whatnot and so forth.
Dowsing rods, yeah.
I love my dowsing rods. Definitely is a thing. But I mean, definitely the cat balls are interesting because they're like a low key thing where you can just sit there and do whatever it needs to do. And I mean, the only piece of high tech equipment that I actually find interesting is the REM pod. And sometimes those things you can get some interesting results from, but sometimes it gets interference from the wiring and whatnot and so forth from a location too. So it's kind of hard to decipher all that.
Cell phones are like our biggest enemy.
Everybody carries one.
But we all have them, and you can't always get everybody to go into airplane mode. And even when you're in airplane mode, you still run the risk.
Right, because it's still emitting electric. Yeah.
So I learned that a while ago. But
I want to talk about your upcoming project, The Walk. Is it The Walk? Yes, it's The Walk. I think my brain's like function. I had seen it, and I wanted to pick your brain about it because I found it very interesting. The cover art is amazing with you sitting there and somebody's speaking here. So, what brought this on? And if you could share some details about the project, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Well, this is a part of me that I've kind of kept hidden for a long time because of growing up with nobody accepting this about me and my family, and I've always been made to feel broken. And I've been through a lot of health issues. As you know, I've had heart attacks, and I've died twice and been brought back.
Wow.
My biggest regret so far is, with respect to my life, is letting other people intimidate me into not being me. So I woke up one morning and I said, you know what? This stops now. I may not have 10, 15, 20 years ahead of me, but in the time that I have left in this life, I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to let people actually see me for the first time.
That's amazing.
And so then I thought to myself as I was laying there looking up at the ceiling, and on that morning, I said, you know what? I'm going to call Jennifer. Jennifer's always following me around with a damn camera. She is. Everywhere we go, she's got that camera on me. I was like, Jennifer, what are you shooting? and she's like, I'm just documenting. She's documenting everything, I don't want to miss anything. And I was like, well, and I thought to myself in that moment, I was like, let me call Jennifer. And I said, Jennifer, I've got an idea and I want to know if you want to work with me on this because it's important that I do this. I can't put it off any longer.
Right.
She says, what is it? I said, I want to film a show. And what I want to do is what nobody has gotten to see before, what I've done all along. When I take the walk through these locations to find out who's there, what they need,
Yeah.
and I want to, along this journey, I want to be able to help the families or the businesses. And it won't end with just the walk. If there's a place that we visit that has so much that's happening with them, I'll do the initial walk. But then I'm also going to follow it and make sure that I get help in there that's needed. I'm not going to give up on people. I'm not just in one and done. I'm going to help them.
Right.
Because I know what that's like from my history. I'm not going to leave anybody high and dry.
Wow.
So we started filming already. We've got 2 locations out of the way right now that we filmed in. We're going like every weekend for a while.
Yeah.
We do this on Sundays. That way, if anybody wants to do their events on Saturdays, they can. And we do it during the day. Because as we know, activity happens all the time. It's not on a time schedule we want it to be at night. It's going to happen when it happens. I also want the viewers to be able to see the locations as we see them. And that's best during the day.
Right.
Will it all be in the daytime? I don't know yet because I don't know what Jennifer's got up her sleeve. I really don't. She tells me, okay, you've got to walk this day, this day, this day, this day. And she'll tell me the town. And that is it.
Wow.
And what I do is I spend my day before and my morning kind of getting Christy ready for this.
Yep.
Kind of like getting ready to turn the volume up on my ears and my mind to receive whatever I'm going to receive. And I get messages on the way to the location.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get names, images, situations, and stuff like that. So I'll tell them, Jennifer particularly, I'll send it in a text or something to her. I was like, I got all this coming through right now. This guy, his name is this. He's with me. And she says, well, I'm not going to tell you anything else. And I don't want you to, but I want you to take this information because this is what I got.
Mm-hmm.
And we go and giggle about it. And then I go and I walk in and I don't even talk to the homeowners when I get there. I'm just led into the house and then everything just starts right off the bat. The owners watch me from a remote location live. They're not with me, but they see me as I go through.
Okay.
And they hear everything that's being said along the way. And this is kind of how it's kind of laid out with some extra stuff in it, like, the interview, of course, of the homeowner before.
Right.
And then it'll end up with kind of like my final words about the location. And that's the walk.
Wow, that is amazing. I mirror the sentiment of several people who said that I can't wait to actually watch this when it comes out. So when does the show officially drop on YouTube? I see that it's going to be on YouTube.
So we are bouncing the idea around about doing the actual start of the show at a location for the premiere. And we'll have like a get together, a party there, and an investigation of the property.
Awesome.
And that'll be up in New Hampshire.
Oh, that's great.
Is where we're going to do it, where we filmed our first episode. It's going to be incredible. So far, knock on wood, I'm getting them right.
Yeah.
But I understand with this, there's going to be moments where I'm going to say things and they're not going to get any of it, what I'm telling them.
Okay.
There's always going to be this possibility.
Exactly.
But then a little bit of time will go by and I was like, actually, this does make sense now. And I was like, yeah, good. That's great.
That's phenomenal. So I think it said that you guys are going to be starting showing the episodes in August. Did it say August?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's definitely something to look forward to in the hot summer months. The opportunity to see you going from location to location,
Oh, yeah.
residence location, and
we'll be in the attics and under the houses, and we go all through them, or buildings, wherever, businesses. We do businesses as well. So it's I'm going everywhere the spirit leads me.
that's amazing, And if you're not leaving any stone unturned, which is definitely really, really cool. And I think the concept is amazing. And it's definitely going to show everybody a different side of you that you've never really shown anybody realistically before. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've marked the date in my calendar for August to check it out.
I told her, I said, we can do the best we can on it, as long as it's just real. It's not overproduced. It's just putting the person that's at home watching the show in the location with us. I just want them to get a feel for it as well. And I'm really super excited about it. This means a lot. And, we added another person to the crew, because it's not good enough to have one camera. You got to have another one. And so, and we may add more people as we go on. We're just going to let this project build the way it needs to build.
That's awesome. It really is. It's something that I don't feel that has been done recently, or, and I wish you the best of luck with that particular project. That definitely sounds like it's going to be an eye opener for a lot of people. And another thing I think I heard you mention was that the homeowner's going to be watching via closed circuit. Like, so you have them set cameras up and they watch it from wherever you put them, and as they go through. So is that so that they don't influence what could be possibly said, or?
Yeah, exactly. We want them to be a part of it, but we want them to not be able to say anything to them.
Right. Okay.
Keep it as closed as possible. And the camera people, they'll talk to me. I can't get away from that, because they're walking around me. They're not stationary. They're with me the whole time, and we converse amongst each other too, but it doesn't impact my ability to be able to read the space.
Yeah, I agree. Somebody just said that we need some good paranormal investigation shows based in the New England area, especially in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I think it definitely lacks around here, especially. I mean, you see most paranormal shows you see in all the other surrounding states, but you don't see a lot like based in this general area. Even like the New England states, like your Massachusetts, New Hampshire, like you said, and possibly other locations in and around the area. I think it's amazing that you're bringing it to the forefront, and especially in Massachusetts. And I mean, because I'm from here, so I'm kind of biased on that end of it, definitely.
Yeah, with the walk, one of the things that I don't do is I don't take equipment in with me. I'm just using whatever the energies want to project to me, whatever they want to show me, wherever they want to lead me.
Right.
I'm telling you, they get really specific about things, and it's scary when they get so specific, because I'm like, this is way off in left field, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But to find out it's not. It actually is legitimate, and you got a family member that's sitting there listening, and they're crying because they know exactly what that means.
That is awesome.
So,
especially seeing you using your natural abilities to guide you in wherever you need to go, versus having equipment telling you where to go, or different ovuluses or word banks or portals or any of that kind of stuff. You're actually using your natural abilities, which I think is going to give the walk a whole different feel.
It's the first time that I've been able to do something that makes me feel like myself. All my life I've been told that this part was broken with me. I was broken. And I'm not broken.
No.
I just sense the world differently than everybody else. And that's okay. It's not wrong for me to be able to do this.
Right.
It doesn't hurt anybody. And along the way, it does help people. So just let me be me.
That's amazing. So wrapping things up, because I know that we're getting close. So how can people get a hold of you if they say that they have a location or a residence that they want to do to involve in your show? How can they get a hold of you and with contact information?
So they don't. They don't contact me. I don't want to know.
Well, I meant the group in general.
So what I tell people to do is contact Jennifer Payne.
Okay.
And Jennifer Payne is on Facebook.
Okay.
You can send her a message and she will reach back out to you, or you can call her via messenger if you want to, and she'll get you scheduled. She'll, talk it through with you, what you're experiencing, things like that, but she won't tell me anything. I told her if she tries to tell me anything, I'm going to hit her with something.
We don't want that. No. We don't.
It's not violent, and then we're going to be on cops. So no.
That'll be a whole different show for a different.
Bad girls. What you gonna do? That kind of stuff. Now,
paranormal boxing caught on TV. That'd be a whole different.
Smackdown going on.
Oh my God! Just an idea. Each episode, it may be beneficial to the audience to do a small segment each show on a piece of paranormal equipment, demonstrate how it works and when to use it, pros and cons, etc.
Yeah, I can do a little bit of a demonstration of a piece of equipment, and we can throw that in every now and then. I don't know. That's something for us to kind of talk about. I'm open to the idea of it. I just know that for the purpose of the walk, I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to introduce that into it. But if people want information about it, we can certainly maybe make a snippet in the program about a piece of equipment if people are interested in learning more about it.
Yeah, I agree with everybody that you're definitely an inspiration to people, and everybody enjoys being around you, and you are truly an amazing woman. And I deeply appreciate you coming on this evening to talk to me and be part of the Twisted Tales tonight. It's been an amazing interview with you, and I wish you all the best. I cannot wait to watch the walk. And once you guys get processed and everything, maybe I can get you back in at some point, and we can definitely talk more about the show and stuff like that. It would definitely be my honor to have you back in, So
well, we'll do it.
That'd be great. And maybe if you want to bring in Ms. Payne and anybody else that you want to bring in, we could definitely have a group chat, and it would definitely be cool to showcase the show, and it definitely, I think it's going to be an amazing experience. August, please tune into the walk on YouTube. I'm definitely going to be checking it out myself. For Christy Parrish, I'm Jeremy Cotter. This is Twisted Tales. Sean, take us home. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.